put on your headphones. It sounds a little better. With the headphones in and the volume turned up just right, this audio will sound better. Yow! I want to hear y'all. Cause I am barely breathing. I can't find air. Don't know who I'm kidding. Imagining you care. I could stand here waiting. A fool for another day. And I don't suppose. Anyway, y'all know that song, Duck and Shake, y'all. I love that song. So that's not very quickly. Because y'all, we just, we had a very productive week, y'all. It's already Thursday. When today was hump day. Literally in about 6 hours. I'm so appreciative of the love and support of my people, from my people, for my people. I do for y'all. I say this over and over and over again. I'm here because you want me here. I'm here because you need me here. If not, baby, bye-bye. You can just say bye-bye, au revoir, and that's it. No hard feelings, adios. And we just live our lives the way we need to live our lives. And so I'm so appreciative of the love and the support. I'm so appreciative of you all, regular customers, regular clients. I tell you, I love regular people. I love my regular people. I love my regulars. I want to be one of those girls. I don't want to be one of those girls that are always seeking new clients and shit. You know what I mean? I love my people. And so, y'all, we finished the angelic attainment recordings. Baby, 5 recordings. And, just so you know, you'll be getting a link. You should be getting a link. By the time y'all see this, if you're in here now, you should be getting a link very shortly. Okay? For 2, part 1 and part 2. And I want that to sit in. And then, of course, in the class or in that recording, we go over very important dates because we're getting in. We're getting in, honey. When I tell you we're getting in, we're getting in. Anyway, y'all. So shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for signing up for the Angelic Atonement, y'all. You know that, I'm non-denominational when it comes to my spiritual practices, but I love the light. I love dealing with the light. Going into Madame Merkaba, going into energy. I love interpreting the light. I love feeling the light. I love seeing the light. I like dancing the light. I like everything that deals with the light. And of course, John 1:1-1:1, it tells you why the light is so important. And people overlook that. So I'm not here to convince. I'm just here to guide you, teach you, help you along the way. I do want to say this. I did get an email from someone. And I don't know if they sent the email before or after we had the discussion of sending long emails. And I said, well, if they sent it before or after, this message is still very important. Okay. So the reason why I don't get into reading long emails, and of course, I understand this person's, situation. I know this person, we've communicated before. And so this is not like a new person doing this. And I'm like, I'm about to read them down, whatever. So I am, going to be taking my time tomorrow and going through the email, and they'll get a response from as soon as I'm done with it. But I do not go through reading long emails. And there's times where I've even deleted them. I got to keep real with y'all. There's times where I even deleted long emails. I responded back to the email and I told the person, this is why we do consultations. So you can, have a long drawn out conversation about your experience. I received so many emails, you guys, and I just cannot imagine. Oh, it's like my anxiety is like stirring up right now thinking about it. I can imagine receiving 20 messages and everybody has a 5-paragraph email that they're sending to me. I don't have the time to, to sit there and read that. And so, of course, I'm grateful because, of course, you can hit other people up and you can send them long emails. You could, give them your money, whatever. And so I'm grateful for you even thinking about me to reach out to me. But like I said, this is why we do the consultations. And also going into that as well, I don't like energy tampered with, meaning I don't want you to do emails of telling your story, going into depth, and then down the line you book a reading, and then things come up in this reading that you already told me. I don't do that. Don't tell me about your life. Don't do none of that. If we're doing energetic work, and you get a reading done, typically people want to read it done before they do energetic work. Then let me, tap in and see what I'm seeing, and we go from there. So that's why I don't do it. Like I said, that's what the consultations, are for. Going to depth about your conversation. Because the email reading that will be like 10 minutes of reading, right? Even though I can read, I think 200 and some words a minute, by the way. Hello? It might be faster, baby. Who knows? I can read a lot of words in a short amount of time. Okay, I comprehend the way I talk. I talk very fast, very gutter. If you know what I mean, you would think I'm from Florida the way I've been talking. Hello. I'm not from Florida. And I'm joking, y'all. Anyway, I love my Florida people. Shout out to the Floridians out there, y'all. I love my Florida people, y'all. How you doing? You know what I was thinking about too? That's a little side note. Outside of what I was saying about the long emails and stuff, I got an email from one of y'all and I totally forgot to respond. And I feel so bad. And I'm just going to take out this right now. I feel like a lot of times people are more good to me than I'm good to them. And I think I'm good to people. I think I'm, a good person and I treat people nice. But I feel like some people are kind of like dogs. Dogs are very loyal. No matter what you do to a dog, no matter how you treat a dog, they'll always have love and respect and support for you. Of course, they do have their limits. That's why you hear about stories about animals attacking their owners. But they like us. They have their own personality stuff. But either way, they're loyal. And so one of my people sent me an email back in April. And she said, I don't know if I'm able to get those oils or not, but I renewed my P.O. box. And if I am, if I am able to get an oil, if I am one of the ones that check about getting an oil, here's my P.O. box number. And I'm just like, girl, how did I overlook that email? And it was not in spam. So I feel very bad. And they know who this is, honey. Forgive me. I saw it actually today. And I thought, oh my God. So yes, you are, getting, the oil that I did back then, you are getting. And because I got it late, I'm now going to be sending you a bigger bottle. Okay, so be out on the lookout for that. I'm going to send you an email back to confirm that everything is still valid because I know with, P.O. Box, you got to renew them every 6 months or every year. And so either way, I will check back on you April, May, June, July. Even though, we're going into August, who knows? Maybe you renewed it in January and you barely told me that in April. I don't know. So I will double check. Like, so I'll be sending you a bigger thing. I also had 3 new orders today. Come on in here for oils. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I love creating things. I love teaching people like anything that's gonna help you out in the long run, because that's what I'm here for. Hello? That's what we're here for. That we're not here to give you a novelty item. We're not here to give you a what they call it, a magical kill, and we go run and we go hide. That's not what we're here for, babe. We're here to help you and assist you every step of the way. If it takes you a year to get it right, we're going to be here for a year to help you get it right. That's what we're here for, right? We're here to bring justice. We're here to bring just onto those who've been treated unjustly. Can we talk about it? Those who've been lied to, scammed on, cheated on, just oh girl, that'd be another thing too, y'all. But I'd be thinking to myself, and I just, sometimes I feel like I just be too real. And I'm like, girl, some of those conversations should be had at home. You shouldn't put it on a public platform. But on the other side of me, be like, fuck you, girl, you're not commercial. Hello. I'm not commercial, girl. That's for the commercial girls. Those for the girls that like to kiss ass to be liked. I don't care to be liked. Honey, I'm here to be honest, direct, and truthful. And I'm not here to hurt people. Because they say hurt people, hurt people. That's not true. I'm somebody who's been hurt. And because I've been hurt, I never want people to feel what I felt. Okay, so I like to be honest, direct, real with you for you to understand. No sugarcoating, no, pacifying the situation. Okay, and so either way, I'm just like, I'm just like, baby, it just be a lot going on. And I just be like, I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't say it. But listen, y'all only speak about things. I only speak about things that make sense. That make sense physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. If it ain't making sense to if any of those bodies, then more than likely it's made up. Okay. And so either way, like I said, I enjoy doing things for y'all. I enjoy giving y'all tea and and watching it grow and like I said, enlightening you and not sugarcoating shit and not being fake with the shit. Because baby, karma comes back. And I always tell this to people, what you give to others, you will get it back. Life is about baking a cake. You're baking a cake, babe. All the ingredients that you put into this cake, when the cake is done, you have to eat it. Do you want to eat a cake that's filled with decon, that's filled with Peter, saltpeter? Hello? Do you want to eat a cake that's filled with bleach, chlorine, and I mean, let's talk about it. Do you want to eat a cake like that? I don't. So why am I going to serve up the people the chlorine? Why am I serving up the people the saltpeter, the trunk killer? Can we talk about it? The tree trunk killer. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. The tree trunk killer. Y'all know what I'm talking about, girl. Saltpeter, Peter salt. Hello? So I'm like, honey, I believe that what you give to others, you give back. And I feel like as a teacher, as a guide, as someone who guide others, you have to be very mindful about what you share to others, especially, I mean, you really don't know anything about it. You should just really just, But I think about like people being in bad situations and stuff. And I be thinking to myself, like, if you're an older now, that means you were once young. And I believe like making mistakes at a certain age, because let's say your brain becomes fully developed about 27 to 30. Depends on how delayed you are. But I'm like, baby, 40 years old, you still doing like crazy shit. And I'm making minor mistakes, right? Because, we all fall short of the grace and the glory. Can we talk about it? We all fall short of the glory and the grace. Can we talk about it? But I just be like, girl, what the fuck is going on? How did you do it at 19, 20, 20, and we get up to 40 and you still doing the same thing? It doesn't make sense. We're here to elevate. We're here to become better than yesterday. Tomorrow comes, y'all. Tomorrow comes when it does come, if it does come, for you to be better than you were the day before that. And the same thing with your parents. Did your parents never tell y'all, I want y'all to be better than me? I got so sick of my mom saying that. My mom said that so damn much. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Baby, it was every fucking time. I want y'all to be better than me. Every time we got in trouble, she'd tell us why we're getting in trouble. Get, we'll get our ass beat. And then she'll say, I want y'all to be better than me. And of course, I'm just like, but how is that going to make us better? Now I see. And so either way, that's what it comes down to. Then it even comes down to you having self mastery. I was thinking this for a little bit as well. Like you grew up in a house with like five people, five kids, and five kids are raised by the same parents. We ate dinner together, we slept together, we showered together, whatever. We all had the same routine. And I'm saying we as if like you're a part of this structure, right? Because I didn't grow up with five kids in the house. But either way. And so we're raised by the same parents with the same rules, the same curfew and all that. And even as a kid, like some kids are more rebellious than others. What I was thinking about the other day was it really comes down to self mastery. Like I know someone who has three children, and one is deceased, the other one is um, behind bars for doing something fucked up, and the other one is strung out on drugs somewhere. And like what got them to that point? And then of course going back into like knowing things about them growing up, I'm like, well, the one who is deceased, they were always doing fucked up ass shit. Like they had no self control. They were always doing shit. And so anyway, not getting too much to their story and stuff, because that's not what I'm saying this for. So even like thinking about my upbringing and things I endured and stuff, y'all. And I'm just like, girl, my siblings, they drunk, they partied, they did crazy shit. I'm like, girl, did I do that shit? No, I didn't. And I look back on it too, like, did I really? I think I lived life, but it's like, did I really live? Because, girl, I didn't sneak out. I didn't have teenage sex. I wasn't doing drugs and shit. And I think about that, and I'm like, well, it's not really the upbringing of the parents, and it's not the society neither, because we all grew up with the same people. We all came home, we went out into our apartments, and we had the same friends, y'all. We had the same friends. But I'm like, I think I got an insight of what I could possibly become by seeing older people. And because I'm a good listener and I'm very observant and I want to know how they got what they got, I was like, I'm going to sit back and watch. While my other siblings did their things for whatever reason they did their things for, like I said, it's not my concern and I'm really not judging. And that's what it comes down to. And even going into my sister in law, and I, which I don't fuck with her. One of my brother's wives, I don't fuck with her in any way, shape, or form. I haven't blocked her on my phone, blocked her on Facebook, and all social media platforms. If there's any event that she's invited to, I'm not going to be there. And if I am going to be there, the bitch, excuse me. Anyway, so she's got a smart ass mouth, y'all. She's got a smart mouth. She talked to everybody like they're her fucking kids. It's like, bitch, I'm not your kid, girl. You ain't talk to me like that, honey. You don't know me. You barely met me, bitch. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, bitch, the fuck? And we don't know each other like that. I don't know your blood type, I don't know anything about you. Girl, I just know that people want to fight you and you be on the run. Anyway, that's not my business. But we got into it because she has a son who's been in and out of jail his whole life. And then I'm like, well, it's things from the parents and stuff. And I didn't go into her. I was talking about people's kids in general. And mama got offended, girl. And we got into it. And I'm like, why is she so offended by what the fuck I said? And then I found out that she served time in the feds. She did federal time. And I said, there you go. So you didn't raise your kid and you felt guilty. And so what I said, you took offense to it because you're like, oh my God, I feel guilty for me not being there. Bitch, you should. You should feel guilty for that. Because baby, I don't know about y'all, but I'm just saying for me, I'm saying for how I was brought up. Bitch, once you had kids, your kids came first. You don't make decisions outside of your kids without thinking about your kids now. Okay, once you start having children. And so either way, for me, I'm saying it is self mastery because even going into this lady who have these children, even going into my sister-in-law, she had two kids prior to her meeting my brother. The youngest kid is a genius. He's smart. He actually got pushed up 2 grades. Okay, he graduated 2 years before his time. He's smart. He don't get in trouble. He listens. He obeys. That's why they spoil the hell out of him. The other kid, baby, listen. So I'm like, it comes down to self mastery, and even going into like people, knowing that people and seeing people not having because they don't have no discipline. I was watching something about Birkin bags and watches and expensive lifestyle. And, I watch it sometime to time, y'all, to motivate me and stuff, keep me focused. And the guy was talking about how, like in his culture and his family, like they eat struggling. They'll eat like rice and beans and shit and eat just rice some nights only, eat beans only. And some days they'll even go on a fast. When there's a fast, they're excited. They're like, ooh, we don't got some money on no food. Because, they're a large family. But they're able to save the money and buy expensive stuff with this money. While other people spend money and wonder why they have not. And I told y'all this, and I'm really not going to keep y'all long. I promise I'm not, because I'm starting to, get tired. Okay, I had a very productive day, but I was thinking about that. I was like, the average Black American. Well, this is what they say. They say that Black Americans spend billions, if not trillions of dollars every year on hair, makeup, lashes, and beauty products. And I thought to myself, if they knew how to save this money, if they knew how to do like, the bonnets and sew extensions into the bonnets and wore the bonnets with the extensions so it looked like your hair is part way in, part way out. Hell, even going into like halfway, what they call phony ponies. Hell, even getting human hair bundles of hair, what, like $89 for a bundle of A grade, you know, uh, good quality hair. Make your phony pony with that. Put your hair in a bun and do that. Make a fake, do a clip bond, bang and shit. Like just doing simple shit like that will save money. And then they can even like spend the money on other things. And even I'm thinking about like groceries and stuff as well, y'all. Where I'm like, they got frozen vegetables and fruits and stuff, right? And this stuff never goes up. Like frozen fruit do be a little expensive sometimes. But frozen vegetables, at the most I've seen it for a pound has been like $3.99. That's the most I've seen it at a pound. We're talking about mixed vegetables, and they have all different types of vegetables, y'all. You get broccoli, you get Brussels sprouts, you get onion and pepper, you get bell pepper, green pepper, all this stuff in frozen. And so in my mind, I'm thinking like, it's not that it's not enough. It's not that you can't afford. It's that you want to be lavish. You want to live luxury. You want to be able to go buy, Tropicana and Hawaiian Punch and have chili dogs with cheese and stuff. And, four-course meal. I mean, I knew this lady that was getting food stamps. She was making buttered shrimp and honey walnut shrimp or shit and butter shrimp. And I was gagging. I was like, girl, I don't get food stamps. I pay for my shit from cash. And I don't want to pay for that shit to make no damn butter, honey melted. What was it called? Melt in your mouth, honey chicken or something like that. And I'm just like, are you on food stamps getting shit like that? This is why your stamps be running out. And this is why it's not that you can't manage without food stamps, it's that you want to spend your money on other shit. And that'd be another thing too. This lady got tattoos from her neck down. Y'all, tattoos are expensive as fuck. There, you can't get a $10 tattoo. She got a lot of tattoo. She smoked a lot of weed. She drinks every now and then, and she definitely get her hair, lashes, and nails done. So I'm like, baby, all that money right there, you could be saving that money, and you could be leveling up, and you can gag the girls. I met a lady, y'all, years ago, and I always get inspired for stories like this, where I'm like, God, 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 God. I met a Sri Lankan woman, okay? And this woman was an administrator for a high school, I believe, at this time that I met her. But she's worked like preschool. She, worked at elementary school, high school, and even she did some college work. But she was telling me how she, was from the ghetto part of LA and that she was on welfare. She was on welfare. And what she did was, while she was on welfare, she was going to school to do things, right? That's how she became an administrator for multiple schools and stuff, y'all. And, now she owned property and all that. And this is in the 80s. And she said that while she was getting it, it was helping her focus all her time and energy on going to school. And when she was able to finish school and start getting a job and start saving her money up, she said that she felt so good to get off that welfare. And y'all, that motivated me. Like, I'm not on welfare, and either way, I'm just like, for somebody to be that motivated, that to be that driven, to be like a minority, to not like use her experiences, whatever got her to be in the ghetto, because I don't think she's originally from the ghetto. I think she said when she moved somewhere, like it was something like that. She was married before, became low income because she had a husband with kids, and that's how she became low income and stuff. He broke up with her, went to somebody younger. Mama was struggling. He didn't want the kids, so she had to raise these kids by herself. Single mom, Sri Lankan woman, honey, and like I said, welfare recipient. And like I said, it motivated me because I'm like, damn, like if you want something bad enough, you will sacrifice for it. You want something bad enough, you will say, I don't have a point to prove. I don't have to have. I don't have to be. I don't have to do. I don't have to fit in. And like I said, that motivated me. And I'll never forget that. That was what, 5 years ago now, 2020. That's when I first moved to Southern California, 2020. But I was just like, wow, this is amazing, y'all. And this lady just had her shit together too, girl. Like you would have never thought that, girl. And the fact that she opened up about that to me, y'all, I was like, well, I didn't ask her this information. What made her tell me this shit? That's what I was saying in the beginning. Like, and God, like God introduced me to like the not strangest characters, but God introduced me to people where I'm like, what the hell? Like, why would I? Why am I a part of this experience? Like, why am I having this? Why am I hearing this from people? Why is this person telling about this story? Like, what does this do? What does this have to do with me? But of course, it motivated me. It inspired me. And like I said, it's about self mastery and going for what you want and not letting nothing stop you. And although life throw you lemons, baby, you make lemonade from it. And that's why I say mental health is very important. Investing in changing your mindset, changing people around you. I know you're like, I grew up, listen, y'all, I thought the same thing. I told y'all, and I continue to tell y'all, I thought the same thing, baby. First and foremost, I didn't think I was ever going to get out of my hometown. I, I found comfort there. The people, I had my own fan group. You know, it was exciting. It was fun. I met nice people. I met other people like me. Whatever. And even going into prior to that, friends I had, y'all. I was looking through my Gmail, y'all. I had one of my Gmail accounts since 2007, 2006, 2007. I gotta go back and look. You know, Gmail used to like save all your SMN, your SMS messages and your text messages and all that, y'all. I was scrolling through that from that time, and I was like, girl, I had like 400 people that I was talking to on a regular, y'all. And I was like, what the fuck? Who the fuck was I? Who was that girl? I don't know who she was. Like all these people, y'all, it was crazy. And wanting to hang out and some of them coming to see me, like 50 of them. Coming to see me, let's go to this, let's go to that. And I was just like, girl, what the fuck is going on? And I'm just like it's crazy to sit there and think about that, y'all. But of course, as I elevated and my mind changed, I was like, baby, I don't see this for me. I told you those people that I knew then, they're either deceased right now, they're behind bars, or they're strung out on drugs. And to even look back at that and be like, damn, like that could have been my story. And even going into some of them too, we had conversations about our lives and what we were not going to do. Oh, I cannot wait to become grown so I can, have my man in my house and be that housewife and shit. And it was just like, girl, it was just so amazing. And just to actually look back and see these people and be like, damn, I hope you found what you're looking for on the other side. Or damn, honey, damn, Ezell, you strung out on the streets. What's going on? Like it's crazy to think about, y'all. But I know that my mindset started to change because people started coming around my life. I started meeting people coincidentally, accidentally, and I'm like, whoa! And of course, they were, inspiring me. They were telling me stuff, sharing insight and stuff with me, and I'm just like, girl. So anyway, just a little bit of reflection with y'all, honey. Little things I was thinking about, how we do. Getting back into that was a little too long of a side note, but y'all got it. Ow! We put a keynote, a footprint, and we put dot 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 dot. Oop, turn the page. Now we continue on part two of what we said about the long emails. Hello, how you doing? Anyway, so by the way, y'all, I thought I had ADHD. See, this why I stopped watching videos and shit on YouTube and shit. Because people will have you think that you got shit that you don't fucking have. I'm sitting here calling my therapist, like, I think I got ADHD. We need to book a session right now because my attention span is shortening right now. I can't think. I'm jumping from topic to topic, idea to idea. What the fuck is going on? I need the book now, baby. Girl, I don't have no fucking ADHD, y'all. Adult deficit hyperactive disorder. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I just listen. I be just going with the flow. I be like, spirit, come through. What comes through, let's talk about it. What doesn't come through, let's not talk about it. That's it. Baby, I talk about what we talk about. Can we talk about it? And if I gotta talk about it, I'm not gonna come on here. That's what it is. I'm not gonna come on here just to be on here. Like so, yeah, I talk about, we jump from topic to topic, but I remember what the fuck I'm talking about, and I know where I'm going with it. So that's not ADHD, girl. The bitch that I watch, what's her name? Harriet. Harriet was something, letter from Harriet, something like that. Can't remember her. Girl, that was like 2 or 3 years ago. girl talking about she had ADHD and that's why she couldn't. And I'm just like, girl, I got it too then. What's going on? But long emails, it takes a lot of dedication and focus to read and respond. And I definitely can do so, y'all. I read books, I read novels. I have, books that are 1,500 pages that I've completed in 2 or 3 days. Can we talk about it? So I definitely can respond back and read that. But like I said, I would love to put emotion behind the words. I would like to be able to focus in and give you your one-on-one time versus reading your email, jump to the next email, jump to the next email, jump to the next email, jump into the next. Could y'all imagine that? Can y'all imagine that? Like being somebody who's hypersensitive, because I hate using the word empathetic or empath, because everybody uses that damn word. It's so overused. So I like to use the word hypersensitive because that's what it is. You're hypersensitive to energy. Speaking of that, all happened today too. So I'm reading this email and I'm like, "Ooh, girl, I'll get back to that. Yeah, whatever. I'll get back to that, honey." And when I actually sit down and read it, because I kind of opened it, just went through it, I was like, "Ooh, girl, this is like 3 scrollings through the phone, girl. 3 scrolls. That's a long as email." And shout out to you, honey, because I listen. I know your heart means well, honey. Hello. So I'm talking with one of my people, and y'all, like we've talked on the phone, and they've told me the story of what they have witnessed with people that they loved and care about. And I want to say this. Like, I love my friends. I love my spiritual sisters. I love their personalities. Sometimes their personality types ignore the fuck out of me. I'm going to be honest, because they're too sensitive, or they're too much of a pushover, or they're too much of a people pleaser. But I respect their journey. I respect where they're at. And eventually they'll get over that. If that means it takes them to be 60 years old, 80 years old, 90 years old, I see they will eventually get there. And so, of course, I went back and forth throughout the years of knowing these people. Like, why they always got to kiss people asses? Why they just can't tell people how it is? But then I think, well, if everybody showed everybody how it is, everybody was like me, then I wouldn't be unique. So it's like, okay, so like I said, I love them in that, in their people pleasing energy. That's not for me, but hey, if that's for you, girl, listen, I'm here for it. And so either way, while they're telling me the story, y'all, I'm like feeling all the emotions in person with them. And y'all, I've never met one of the person that they're talking about. And I started getting emotional where I had to like stop myself, girl. Because when you start to get emotional, your nose start getting clogged up, especially allergy shit is active right now. Nose start getting clogged up, your ears start getting clogged up, your eyes start getting irritated, you start getting choky and shit. Hi guys. Talking like that and shit. It's like, ooh, honey. And so they were sitting there telling the story about what they're doing and why they're doing it. And y'all, I just was like, I felt for them. And like I said, I felt those emotions. And so I'm like, this is why I'm glad I paced myself. Because like I said, I read this before the email. I read the email before I had this experience. I said, this is why I cannot read paragraphs of emails versus getting on the phone and doing a consultation. Because of course I will not book consultations back to back. We're doing 7 fucking consultations in one day. The most I would do would be 3 because there's too many energies, too many emotions, too many ideas behind that. And I hold on to that shit, y'all. Okay. And of course, being somebody who's here to help people, I can't help that. You know what I mean? Like I cannot talk to these people, hear their problems, and shake it off and say, oh, okay, well, that's not my problem. They're going through that. I'm not dealing with that. Like, what? And so I really think about stuff. Like, like people be telling me stories and stuff, y'all, and I will think about it over and over again. Like, even going into a little thing here, one of my people, they told me, they lost their mother, to a very bad situation, y'all, years ago. They were a kid when this happened. And I think they're about a good 8 years older than I am. So this was a long time for them. But when they told me this, like I felt the emotions as if that was my experience. And even throughout the day, even throughout the month, even now, y'all, they told me this stuff 6 years ago. I'm looking back now. They told me this story 6 years ago, and I remember listening to one of my favorite artists while they were telling me this, and I was just bawling, girl. And of course, the news was looking at me like, "What the fuck is going on?" But I was bawling because I was just like, "Ooh, that is so horrible." And I have aunties, who passed away from the same circumstances, and they were young. They were like 27 and shit when this happened. So I'm like, damn, I couldn't see these people. These people could have been a vital aspect of my life, asset to my life, and some fucking cowardless ass abuser, took them away from their family and future family. And so either way, I think about it from time to time, and I just be like, God be with them. Like, I understand their struggles. I understand what they've been through. Although that's not my story, although I would handle it a totally different way, if I'm going to be honest. But I'm like, that's their journey. That's what they needed to go through. That's what they needed to experience to understand what rock bottom really is. And so I just be like, every time, like I said, when I think about it, just be like, I send them good energy. But God bless them, honey. Whatever they dealt with, they're still holding on to that. Allow them some type of healing. And I know something that's coming up too, because I got an email from one of them, and they keep seeing a particular energy. And I said, honey, there's a healing. There's a mending that needs to take place. So they don't know, but I'm doing something special for them. Hello. They don't know it yet, but we're doing something special for them to mend those energies and those frequencies, because that's what I've been called to do. I've been called to heal. I've been called to heal and to help. And this is why my life has been a sober life. Can we talk about it? It's not a sober life for any other reason. It's been a sober life for me to help people and help them from a healed perspective. Can we talk about it? No, we won't. It'll take you off. But anyway, Angelic Atonement class. Y'all will be getting that link very, very shortly. Okay, come on in here. Two parts, part one and part two. And of course, there's altogether going to be 4 or 5. I believe I got to go look because I had to cut some of them down. And we're going to be doing a live situation. And like I said, you're in the class, you'll hear the date, the day and the date. And we're going to touch on this, y'all. I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed. Except for y'all love and y'all support. Oh, it finally broke off. You little bitch. I'm sorry, y'all. One of my little things. I got an angelic statue. I never heard of this angel or anything before, by the way. And she's actually she's not an angel, she's a different type of angel. If you're an angelic class, we talk about the hierarchies and stuff. But either way, when I went to go get this, because somebody, I was leaving out, and I said, "Oh, who is that right there?" And the lady said, "Oh, this is blank, 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 blank." And I was like, oh, "Okay." And I was like, I gotta go back and I gotta go get it. But either way, she has a particular item that she has in her hand. And he said, for some reason, this thing breaks off. He said, no matter what you do, how you do it, this thing breaks off. And I was like, really? And then he said, yeah. And I said, well, that has to be some type of initiation or something. And he's like, what does that mean? And I was like, yeah, that means that it was breaking off. That's her way of giving you a sign that it's okay to venerate her. And he thought I was playing, y'all, right? And I'm like, for some reason that came to me to say it like that. Y'all, literally, I bought this 2 weeks ago. We're getting ready to get into some angelic tea, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to set this up for her? Where am I going to put her at? How am I going to set up her altar? I'm thinking about all this, and all of a sudden, girl, now mind you, she has not been moved. She's been in one spot, and I'm looking at her now, and that piece is broke off. And that's how I'm like, what the fuck? So, like I told him, like say, just came to me and say, when that item is broken, when that piece is missing out of her hand, that's her way of saying it's okay to venerate her. That's her way of saying welcome. Because that little piece right there is really not needed. As long as you see the angels' faces and stuff, and we kind of go over that too when we get into the ritual part of angelic magic. As long as you see their face and the items and stuff that you need to venerate them, that connects them, that makes them different from the other energies, that's all that matter. But that piece right there, I'm like, yeah, that means that she's like, yes, it's time to tap into this energy. So whatever. And I'm mad because he was like, do you want the broken one? I'll give you a $5 off. And I'm like, sure. No, I told him no. I was like, no, I want to get it, brand new. And now it's broken. So I'm like, fuck. I could have got that. I could have got The broken part and got a discount. I could have got $10 off this tattoo. Girl, you playing with me? Anyway, but anyway, I'm glad it broke off, honey. I'm like, yeah, she's saying this. You can tap in. Please, But anyway, y'all, yeah, that's pretty much it, honey. I'm about to floss my teeth. About to floss my teeth and drink my pomegranate blueberry juice. A little bit of my beet juice. hmm And brush my teeth and take my ass to bed. Like I said, you'll be getting that link if you're in the Angelica Tillman class. The recording, you got it live, you already got it. This is for those who pay for the recording. Saturday we will be doing a demonium. Demonium, y'all. You've been checking. Shout out to those who be checking out the blog spot too. If you check out the blog spot, you would have got the update on the demonium class. When I tell y'all, baby, let me tell y'all something right now. The Angelica Tillman class, the reason why it's probably going to be one of the most expensive classes I do, it's a game changer. The energy, the frequency, the tapping in, the doing of, baby, your life ain't gonna be the same no more. Baby, that 130, that 120 is gonna be worth $1 million. Mark my word. Like I said, we go into energies that people don't really talk about. We give histories of them. We go into a lot of tea, honey. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it, honey. Hope you guys have a good night. Um, I don't know if StreamYard is messed up or it's really not about in here. Yeah, whatever. Shout out to y'all anyway when y'all do see this down the line. Okay. If you are in here, I'm sorry. It's not showing you in here. I can't see no comments or anything like that. StreamYard playing with me. I don't know. But either way, and I want y'all to tell me this too. Let me do a little something. Hold on, let me see. What I want to know, what is it really giving, honey? What is it giving? Can y'all tell me? What about now? What about now? Is this something? Is this the way that y'all really want to hear me? Huh? Is this giving realness? If I talk like this? Is it giving realness, darling? Huh? What is it giving realness? Y'all let me know. Is it giving trade? Is it giving transgender? Is it giving non-binary? Is it giving what you want? Is it giving what you need? Is it giving you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I hear this in my ear, y'all. It sounds crazy. The hell is going on? Oh my God, y'all. Let me go. I'm getting tired, honey. Love and light, two spirit mystic. Dot. Wait, hold on. Okay. Whew. Let me go to bed. Okay. Love and light, y'all. Two spirit mystic. Dot blogspot.com 28 spirit 8 mystic 8 at gmail.com. Like I said, I'll be getting back to y'all shortly. You sent that long email over, you know who you are. I'll be getting back to you later today. Like I said, the angelic links will be sent out now because I think everything should be done. You should be getting them very shortly. Okay. If you didn't get them, whatever, send me an email and we'll go from there. Okay, y'all. Bye for now. Love and light. Yeah.